We'll be doing two introductions today, one in relation to the Pacific Peoples Partnership and Railroads University research poster presentation, and then at 12 o'clock we'll be doing our introduction to the Aboriginal celebrations. So this is the first of those introductions. I'm delighted that April Ingham approached us from the Pacific Peoples Partnership to see if there was something that we could do together to celebrate Aboriginal peoples. And after some discussions back and forth, we came up with the idea of having a poster presentation that really gave individuals from across Canada and across the Pacific coast, all the way down through, an opportunity to send information in and to share their research or projects. And we see this as in many ways a pilot project, the first of maybe many to come. We're hoping that in the years to come, we'll have many projects and we would show them virtually and perhaps even be able to have virtual interaction with people in different countries as they explain their Aboriginal activities and successes. As always, there's many people to thank, and I'd like to thank Doug Osseroff, Joe Axe, Mickey Noble, Felucia Fagbami, Colleen Hoppins, Patty Shaw, Drana Andrews-Brown, Kyla McLeod, Samantha Wood, Bernard Schizzle, Virginia McHenry, Wendy Drummond, Greg Krang, Great Sam, Paul Corns. It takes a village to organize such an event. Later, I'll be thanking some of our other Aboriginal partners who were so generous in their time in helping make this event happen. With that, I'd like to introduce April Ingham, who will be finishing this introduction. April is with the Executive Director for the Pacific Peoples Partnership, and we're just delighted to be able to have April work with us and for us to be able to form new relationships both here in BC and with her partners along the Pacific coast and the Pacific Islands. I think April will tell us a little bit more about the Pacific Partnership, as well as introduce the project, research projects, and as well those research project representatives will each be saying a few words. And then our Aboriginal celebrations will kick off at 12 o'clock, and you'll see me introduce again a different group of people. April.
Thank you, Mary, and I'd like to thank all of the team here at Railroads University. To work with you all has been an absolute dream. It's been so much fun to conceptualize how we can look at Indigenous knowledge and ways of looking at the world together and to celebrate it. And this is the pilot year of this, and I hope to see it get bigger and better every year. So we're absolutely thrilled to be part of this event. I'd also like to acknowledge the amazing territories that we're here on today in the Salish Sea, right at our doorstep, just over the castle. But it is just so glorious to be here today, and also to just be privy to some of this incredible work that has happened that's represented within these posters. I was talking to one lady over there who said 200 pages of her thesis into one poster. And it's remarkable. We know that you put a lot of effort into each and every one of those presentations, and also all of the research and work that went into just everything that is represented here. It's boggling my mind, actually, and I can't wait to spend more time talking with some of you. Just briefly about our organization, we're 37 years in Victoria, and our organization is all about linking knowledge, sharing knowledge, particularly between Indigenous peoples. and building capacity within organizations from the grassroots up. We work with organizations on different projects where we help with traditional medicine in Fiji in our past, and most recently we've been working in West Papua, one of the first Canadian NGOs really to ever do so. So we're very proud of that work, and I'd like to actually commend my colleague back there, Todd Bitterman, who is the officer of that project. I say, you know, a huge congratulations to him, because we are just finishing it. 3 years of hard work, 26 years to get there. And what's so exciting too is we're working right now, and this exemplifies what our organization's about. We were working with an organization that specializes in communications in West Papua, Indonesia. This group went into schools and worked with young children there. The young children shared their stories of where they live, how they live, you know, through their art. Primarily. So we have the images of the kids' homes, the images of the kids' foods, of where they travel, what their environment looks like, what their nature is like. And then alternately, we're working with Sauk Nation artist Mark Gowdy up here, who has been working with Indigenous schools and children to help tell their stories. So we're mirroring these stories north-south through a book that's being created right now, and that's Brother Paradise Meets Brother Raven. So this is going to be published fairly shortly, and we're very excited about that. And that's what our organization is all about. It's about sharing. In fact, I can see some of the people that are arriving here to perform with us and share with us today, and they have actually been at some of our events where we've shared with people from Fiji and South Pacific and from Papua New Guinea, and so we're very honored, you know, to have that opportunity whenever it's possible to help create these exchanges. So it's now my pleasure to introduce people that really need huge, you know, recognition for all that they've done privately, personally, laboring away on these amazing projects. And we'll give you a short little window just to say hi so people know who you are, and maybe briefly tell them where your station is, what they can learn from coming to talk to you at your poster station. And thanks again, everybody, for your participation. I'd first like to call up Fiona McLeod. Fiona? Where's, oh, she's on Skype? Oh, okay, well, we're gonna have to actually probably do that one on our own. Sorry about that. Maybe I can next have Robin Quinn. Thanks, Robin. Come on up and tell us a little bit about Sacred Tree.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me here today. I was quite thrilled to be a part of this pilot project. My research was part of my master's in professional communications. I actually had my convocation last fall, but this is a wonderful way to share my research. It was essentially identifying how Aboriginal scientists have found ways to weave together the stories of their heritage into their careers as scientists. It's sometimes a difficult journey, and they've had many obstacles, but most of them have persevered, and I think they're great role models for today's Aboriginal youth. So please come on over and visit me. I'm just on the corner here, and I'd love to talk to you about it. Thank you.
Next, if we can have Trixie Ling come up, and she's going to be talking about connecting the dots.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fernando Polanco, and I work for the BC Association of Aboriginal Friendship Centers. Also want to acknowledge the traditional territory that we are on, Coast Salish, and we really thank those people for letting us be here. And I'll let Trixie kind of do the 1-minute explanation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Trixie Ling. I'm the project manager for Connecting the Dots. And our project is an innovative community-based project seeking to promote urban Aboriginal mental health in 3 urban Aboriginal communities. So in Kelowna, Port Alberni, and Quesnel. And we try to do that by identifying some of the risks and protective factors influencing mental health. And if you come over to our station later, you can see how we're doing that in some of our communities through using methods such as photo voice, using pictures and stories by urban Aboriginal youth to identify, again, some of the risks and protective factors in the communities. And just quickly, this project is led in partnership between, I'm from Canadian Mental Health Association, BC Divisions, and the BC Association of Aboriginal Friendship Center. And this partnership is trickled down locally and implemented through local Friendship Center and local CMHA branches. So we really want to bridge that gap between mental health service providers and Aboriginal providers and really create that sustained long-term partnership. So please come and visit us later. Thank you.
As if it wasn't challenging enough to put your thesis into a poster. Now you got to do it in 1 minute. Next, I'd like to call up Virginia McKendry and Linda Bristol to talk about Seatwaddle.
Hi, everybody. It's a wonderful day. It's really exciting to see the other projects. And I'd like to thank Linda Bristol and Bill White, who are supporters and sort of foundational leaders in Seatwaddle, for being here today. And I see two of my students in here, including Brett Blair, who helped make the Seatwaddle poster and kept me from putting big starbursts on it. So thank you, Brett. I'm in the School of Communication and Culture. I met Greg Sam when I first came to this university 2 years ago. This project, Seatwaddle, is the Hulkaminam word for coming together to help one another, and the project really is the manifestation of that teaching. We spent our first year, thanks to support by the Office of Research here in the Royal Roads University, finding and sourcing out elders and cultural leaders in surrounding Salish communities to come and provide that philosophical foundation for what we're doing. Linda Bristol was one of our speakers, Bill White was one of our speakers, and you'll see on our poster basically summarizations of those presentations by the people who supported us in year one. We're now moving into more projects, including a research piece. We have student teams working with Seatwaddle to communicate its message farther and wider. I have a handout at the table if you want to stay in touch with us. There will be a blog next year and Facebook pages, etc. And we are in the process of forming a learning community here. Bill White has been very helpful in doing video transcriptions of the presentations from last year. We'll be using those to create learning resources and workshops for people who are interested in indigenizing their curriculum and their pedagogy and their own thinking. Linda, do you have anything you'd like to add about what we're doing from your perspective?
Okay. I'm really happy to be here, and I welcome each and every one of you to the traditional territory of the Coast Salish people. And I'm from the Sauk Nation, but I have background from Nuchano, and my mom is from Songhees and Cowichan. So she spoke the Hulkaminam language. So I'm really happy to be a part of what's happening here at the university with Seatwaddle. I think it's really something that has been needed, and for all of us to get to know each other really well and to understand and to be able to communicate and work together. So I thank you for the opportunity, for the invites to be a part of this. Aichka Siya.
Next, if we could get Karine Lowen up, please. We're going to be hearing about dialogue and understanding the process of collaborative policymaking in Aboriginal education.
Thank you, April, and thank you, Linda, for that warm welcome. I'm a visitor on Coast Salish territory, and I really do appreciate being welcomed and able to live and work here. My grandparents were homesteaders on Plains Cree homelands in the prairies, though I do have a great-great-grandmother who was Anishinaabe. So I'm truly a product of the colonial project, and I deeply regret the disruption that my European ancestors caused. So I dedicate my work as an ally to finding ways that our two worldviews can meet and learn from each other. And this led me to my research on Aboriginal education policy in British Columbia. I looked at the Aboriginal education enhancement agreements for my master's thesis. And I was interested in finding out what might change when school districts actually started to work with their Aboriginal communities in respectful ways to learn what was really needed for Aboriginal students to have good experiences in schools, and how this would lead to better outcomes in more relevant ways than simply aiming at numeracy, literacy, graduation rates, and retention, although those things are important. I covered a lot of data in my study. I looked at all of the agreements in BC from 1999 to 2007 in a documentary analysis, but I also followed one community as they went through about 18 months of development with their school district and the Ministry of Education. The results of that are on my table. I can show you the first agreement that they did in 2001 that was basically a ministry template, and what came of their engagement. So thank you very much for having me here today.
Next, if we could have up Dave McRae. Thanks, Dave. He's going to be speaking about wealth from forests.
Good morning. I'd like to acknowledge and thank the Coast Salish people for allowing us to meet here in their traditional territory. I'm Dave McRae with FP Innovations. We are the world's largest research and development company. We have just under 500, or just over 500 employees across Canada. We've been around for a long time. Way back in 1918, we were part of the federal labs. We were privatized in '79 as a not-for-profit organization. 7 years ago, I met Frank Brown, who is Heltzuk from Bella Bella. And Frank and I had a conversation about what was happening in British Columbia with First Nations now having access to the forests. And out of that conversation came a concept, and out of that concept a program developed. And we met with 100 First Nations throughout the province of British Columbia and developed the program based on those meetings. We also secured $3 million at that time to deliver services to First Nations. We had what we were told by the Deputy Minister of Forests at that time and by the Regional Chief, Sean Atleo, who's now the National Chief, and up for re-election, by the way, just a reminder for those who can vote, that we had a great idea. They said, this is the missing link. So Frank and I took that. We've been delivering that. Oh, hello there. How are you? I didn't see you sneak in. And, we'll get back to that. Frank and I have been delivering the program for the last 7 years, and it's been hugely successful. We're very proud of the accomplishment we've had. You can check out our website. There's case studies on there and documentation of what's been happening. We continue to look for funding year in and year out. It's a yearly process with the provincial government and the federal government, but both governments have been very kind to us, and we have delivered just under $6 million worth of services to First Nations in British Columbia. I'd be more than happy to talk to you. I'm that big poster down at the end. And I wish you well and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I can have Enid Elliott and Francis Krukoskov to talk about Nature Kindergarten.
Thank you very much. We too are honored and privileged to be here on these beautiful lands of the Coast Salish, where people have raised their children and cared for their children for hundreds and thousands of years. So our project, which is over in that direction, is Nature Kindergarten, which we started a conversation about a year and a half ago. And since Francis and I met to have our conversation, we've grown to a community group of about 45 who've come together to plan and get ready to start in the fall. One of our goals for having children outside every day, whatever the weather, for 2.5 hours in the morning was that they would learn to appreciate these lands. Actually, they'll be in the Royal Roads Forest, and that they'll learn to appreciate them with a view to traditional understandings and stories that are part of this territory here. And so we do encompass a wide range of community. Royal Roads has been very helpful for us, and the Sauk School District, of course, has championed it. So I'll let Francis tell you a little bit more. I realize we only have a minute, so I hope I've only taken 30 seconds.
and come by and we'll tell you more.
Thank you, and thank you also for inviting us to be here today. My name's Frances Kruzakopf. I'm a district principal with the Sauk School District, and we're really thrilled to be opening a nature kindergarten at Sangster Elementary, which just borders right onto the Royal Roads property. It's just a little bit to the west of us. We have 21 students enrolled who will start in September. 12 of those are boys, 9 are girls, and 3 of the students are of Aboriginal ancestry. And as Enid has already highlighted, that is very much a special component of this program, is to teach about the local Aboriginal ways of knowing to this entire class and make that part of their learning. The Sauk School District has about 10% of our student population is of Aboriginal ancestry, and this is very much part of, you heard a moment ago about Aboriginal enhancement agreements, and this project is very much a part of that. Kathleen King-Hunt couldn't be here today. She's our district principal of Aboriginal education. Some of you may know her, and she has contributed to the presentation that Enid and I have here today. So we'd love to talk to you more about our project, and as Enid mentioned, we're just over there. Thank you.
I believe we also have one, possibly 2 other presentations that are virtual, including one from the First Nations University, and that one is from Fiji, Gendron, and that is on the medicine room at the First Nations University of Canada as a teaching tool for elders and youth. And then another virtual one that we have here is Fiona McLeod, and that one is an exploration of community-based perceptions of HIV and AIDS in rural First Nations communities. So there's some brilliant work that is being presented here today, and those of you that have just arrived, we hope that after or during the ceremonies, whatever is appropriate, possibly following them, that you spend some time with these brilliant people that are sharing their research with you. And a reminder that this is all about collaboration. Many different universities across Canada and here on the island are represented through these scholars, and so we hope that you'll see this amazing collaboration and become part of it in your own way. Mary, would you like me to turn this back to you? And thank you very much for the opportunity for our organization to be part of this.